Hey guys, what's up? It is Nathan here, and today I am doing a long overdue review of the Adventure Force Spectrum. Sorry about that. So the reason why I'm doing this review right now, and this will be a fairly not cut review, because I want to address some of the things that I think is kind of tough right now in the Nerf community. More accurately, the foam flinging community. I don't like calling it the Nerf community anymore. And this is a perfect example of it. So I very much think that Nerf as a company is not something, it's not something that we have to deal with anymore. We do, but with the advent of Nerf Hyper and the death of Rival and Ultra and Elite 2.0 and all of this stuff that we shouldn't have to deal with as consumers, I've seen this. I saw this on shelves and I thought, oh yeah, it's probably just a shittier Strife or something. But that's what my brain automatically thinks when I think knockoff, or not knockoff, but basically like another brand's equivalent of a Nerf blaster. And then I bought one. I did some more research and I bought one. And this is so much better than the new versions of the Strife. Even the old version to an extent. Because of the fact that it has much higher performance out of the box, and it's almost the exact same in terms of having a ubiquitous platform. I mean, you can get a stock attachment, an in-strike stock attachment point for this, an in-strike front attachment point for this. You can get them. You can get a Picatinny rail for the top, and then you basically just have a Strife, but with 100 FPS performance out of the box. And I mean, yeah, the included accessories aren't all that great, but you can just put the Villainator stock on it, and it's like a Strife with a worker stock almost. So I'm getting ahead of myself though. Let's start with the actual exterior of the blaster. You have a stock attachment point, and what I like is that Dart Zone Adventure Force is standardizing all their stock attachment points. So, the Spectrum stock and then the Villainator stock, they work with each other, I think they work with each other. I didn't check this one on the Villainator, but the rest of it is really cool. I think I like this color more. It's just the Drac Special essentially, just with a lighter red. But there's obviously the trigger and the rev trigger, and the grip is extremely comfortable, kind of like the Strife is. The front muzzle is kind of ridiculous, but Drac's people designed basically a muzzle delete for it, that replaces it with just a smaller muzzle, which I do want to get at some point soon. And it also replaces the rail with a Picatinny rail. It runs on 6 AA batteries instead of the 4 that the Strife comes with, but the positive to that is that it gets 100 FPS standard with standard alkaline batteries. That's what I have in here right now. And it has a jam door, it has those are the motors, it has the jam door, all this stuff, and it is a semi-auto blaster. So this is just a normal 6-round magazine with Adventure Force waffle darts. It hits much harder than Nerf blasters, normal Nerf brand blasters. It's up there in terms of just strictly FPS. It's up there with Rival, although Rival has It has its own advantages and disadvantages. But like, it works very well, and it works better than the what's it called? The new Nerf Strife reskin that's in the Elite 2.0 line. And obviously this isn't a massive news story anymore, but I felt like I should include it in a review, or I should review it, and the reason is just because it is better than that, and this is $25, and so, or 20, well, this one I think I got for 20 at Walmart, but this is such an amazing platform, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. And you couldn't see that, but it just made its way all the way across my garage with barely dropping. And so I love this, and this is going to be, once I get the upgrade or the minimized, once I get the minimized muzzle, I should basically, I'm gonna use this as one of my primaries for stock wars, because it will be stock. Well, technically, I'm gonna get 2 of these. I'm going to use this one as a stock blaster, and then I'm gonna get another one. And I saw in a video, and I heard through the grapevine that if you just get some worker smooth wheels and rewire the thing and continue to use the batteries, the normal batteries, then it gets like 110, 115 FPS consistently. And so that will be a perfect super stock blaster. It's the thing is, I'm basically just rambling at this point, but this is definitely something that's everyone should pay attention to, because yeah, Nerf is like the mothership, as Drac calls it, and yeah, that's great and all, but Nerf is constantly, at this point, almost constantly screwing its customers, because with Elite 2.0, Ultra, I want to see how good Hyper is in the long run. I don't have high hopes for it just because of Elite 2.0 and Ultra. And then there's stuff like Alpha Strike and that stuff. And it's just like Dart Zone is beating them at their own game. And that's kind of disappointing to me, but also it's great, because if Dart Zone makes quality products, then there's no reason for us to spend more on Nerf. Keep in mind, I have something here that I've already reviewed, the Nerf Rival Roundhouse. It's a great blaster, and this is the blaster that I use if I need like a specific rival blaster. Most of the time, I either use this or my Prometheus, depending on the situation. But then there's also this. I can't remember what this is called. It has its name on it, I think, somewhere. I don't know. Apparently it doesn't. But this, it's not comparable, and I want to modify this. I want to take out the air restrictors, and I want to increase the spring so I can make it like a 5-round shotgun, but for rival rounds. But I basically am saying there are great offerings from Dart Zone and Adventure Force, and I'm planning to get a Dart Zone Pro Mark II, because it basically throws those Han Solo blasters, the internal magazine blasters, under the bus for that very reason. It's because their Dart Zone is beating Nerf at their own game, in my opinion, because everything that Dart Zone is coming out with is either on par or better than the competition, in this case, Hasbro. And so basically all I'm going to say is that I understand that some people think that it's not as big of a deal. To like to normal consumers, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, it is, because the longer we do this, and the more they dig themselves in this hole, the more regular consumers are going to catch on. And I feel like the parents who buy their kids just like Alpha Strike blasters or Elite 2.0 blasters, especially blasters like the Warden, they will be the kids will be sorely disappointed, and the parents will be angry that they wasted money, or they spent money on blasters that are terrible. And so the way I see it is that eventually they will see the light and they will go to Dart Zone. And I don't find glee in this at all, because I wish that Hasbro would get their act together and make good blasters again. I mean, I like the Roundhouse. Like, that is a blaster that I knew I wanted to get. But other blasters that they've released recently, like the Warden, like any Ultra Blaster in the series, apart from like the Ultra Pharaoh, and even then, all of that. Elite 2.0 is just kind of a dumpster fire for the most part. Rival is dying off with the advent of Nerf Hyper, and that's genuinely sad. That genuinely saddens me, because I own a Prometheus and a Nemesis and an Artemis and a Roundhouse and all this stuff. And I own a Finisher, which, by the way, I need to get a review down on that. I don't think I've done one of those yet. But there are great blasters that they've made, not in the last couple years, but in recent years. I mean, I loved the Mediator. I loved the Regulator. I loved the Perseus and the Nemesis and the Prometheus. And I love Rival from basically from the Atlas on. I liked Rival. And so there are blasters that we remember, and it's just kind of an insult, not just to us, but to the consumers, that are normal, that there are blasters that are terrible, that we can't, they're terrible next to the good ones that we can get. I mean, this is right next to the Strife reskin in my store, in Walmart. It's right next to it, in mine at least. And so if they pick the Nerf brand one just because of the brand, they will be sorely disappointed for the most part. So this is just my opinion, and you can disagree or agree if you want to, and I understand. I just felt like I needed to talk about this, and I'm sorry for not really talking about the Spectrum much. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's a really good blaster, and I think that just makes it will get a lot harder for Nerf to sell their products because of things like the Spectrum, where they come with some dinky accessories, but they also come with some, I mean, they have stocks that are getting standardized. They have scopes and magazines, and they're the superior brand right now. I mean, yeah, they've had some not great blasters, but all brands have had not great blasters. These are absolutely amazing. Like the Spectrum is amazing. I love the Villainator. I love the Nexus Pro and the Aeon Pro. I love the Dart Zone Pro Mark 1, the 1.1, the 2. It's just like, eventually Hasbro's going to have to step up their game in order to not die off the way, kind of like the way Busby did. I mean, Busby just couldn't keep up because they kept making subpar blasters. And there were some good ones, but there were some other not good ones. So basically what I'm saying, and this is almost a 15-minute video, is that they need to do better just for their sake. And I understand if some people don't agree, and if some people think, oh yeah, they're for kids. Yeah, well, if a kid gets a warden and the warden breaks after the first couple shots, like what happened to Walcom and what happened to Coop, I mean, that's an issue. They're cutting corners in the wrong places. And so basically, that's my opinion, that's my take, and I highly recommend if you have a need for a higher performance blaster, but you can't spend the $50 on the Nexus, either get the Spectrum or get the Aeon Pro, because they're both really good. If you want to get a specifically full length blaster, get the Spectrum, because it performs well and it's actually quite cheap. It actually is about it is the exact cost of the Nerf equivalent. So, and it's so much better. So that's my opinion, that's my take. I understand if people don't agree, and if you want to argue your point, leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would like to thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys later. Bye.